Hello everyone. Today's topic is anatomy of tracheobronchial tree. We have 23 generations of airway. You all know there are 23 generations of airway in our tracheobronchial tree. This is trachea, this is generation 0. So this is trachea, this is generation 0. Trachea is the generation 0. This is right main bronchus. This is right main bronchus and this is left main stem bronchus. So this is the first generation. These two main stem bronchus are the first generation. Right main stem bronchus and left main stem bronchus. These are first generation of airways. First generation. 1 degree, first generation of airways. So trachea is generation 0. Right and left main bronchus are first generation of bronchus in the tracheobronchial tree. Okay. Then we have these lobar branches. These are the second degree bronchus or lobar bronchus, second generation bronchus. Lobar bronchus or second generation bronchus, 2 degrees, second generation. This is upper lobe bronchus, second generation. This is lower lobe, left lower lobe bronchus. This is also second generation. Then after this lobar bronchus, we have these segmental bronchus. So this is the apical segment of the left upper lobe. This is the posterior segment of the left upper lobe, and this is the anterior segment. Anterior, apical, and posterior. Anterior, posterior, and apical. So the segmental bronchi, these are called as third generation of bronchi. Segmental bronchi are called as third generation bronchi. Third generation bronchi. Okay. Similarly, on this side we have upper lobe bronchus. This is the upper lobe bronchus, right upper lobe bronchus. This is the middle lobe bronchus, and this is the lower lobe bronchus. So these are second generation bronchus, and then the segmental bronchus. This is the posterior. This is sorry. This is posterior. This is apical or superior, and this is anterior. Okay. These segmental bronchus are third generation bronchus. Okay. Then we all know, this is canine. At the bifurcation of the right and left main bronchus, we have carina. Okay. Now the next thing that we need to discuss is the segments, the lung segments according to Boden's classification. We have these segments. So suppose we read these things for clarity so that we understand it better. Okay. So we have this right lung on this side. Suppose this is our left. Okay. This is the upper lobe, middle lobe, and this is the lower lobe. Okay. So this is the differentiation upper lobe, middle lobe, and lower lobe. So in upper lobe we have three segments. Three segments are apical, anterior, and posterior. Apical, anterior, and posterior. This is apical, apical, anterior, and posterior. So A, P, A. We have mnemonic A, P, A for the right upper lobe. Apical is the B1 segment, B1. We name it B1. Then B2 is posterior segment. B2 is posterior, and then anteriorly, this anterior segment is the apical posterior anterior, APA. Apical posterior and anterior. We have these segments B1, B2, and B3 in the right upper lobe. Then we have middle lobe. In middle lobe, there are two segments, lateral segment and the medial segment. So this is on lateral side. So we label it as B4. B4, B4 lateral and B5 medial. Okay. So in the right middle lobe, we will have B4 and B5 segment. B4 will be lateral and B5 will be medial. This is into apical posterior anterior. B1, B2, and B3. Then we have the lower lobe, right lower lobe, where we have these segments and the mnemonic is A, M, A, L, P. Okay, so A for apical. So this is the apical segment of the lower lobe. Okay, so this is called as B6, bronchus B6. We label it as bronchus B6 apical. Then from B6, then we have B7. B7 is medial basal. This is medial basal. This is B7 or medial basal. Then we have anterior. This is the anterior. Anterior we have B8. B8 is anterior. B8 is anterior basal. B8 is anterior basal. Then we have lateral basal. B9. Then we have lateral basal as B9. And then we have posterior basal and B10. Posterior basal and B10. Okay. So these are the 10 segments from B1 to B10 in right side of the lung. Okay. So right side of the lung, we are studying that we have 10 segments. Okay. Then on the left side, what do we have? We similarly on the left side we have these segments. Only thing that is no. Okay. So this is the upper lobe, this is the middle lobe, and this is the lower lobe. Similarly, on the right side you have right upper lobe, you have apical segment, posterior segment, and anterior segment. But in case of the left side, the apical and the posterior segment constitute as one. B1 plus 2. Written like B1 plus 2. Apical and posterior segment. This magenta color segment, posterior and apical segment. These are taken together as B1 plus 2. B1 plus 2. And this is the anterior segment. Anterior segment, and this is labeled as B3. Then we have in the middle lobe, it's not the middle lobe actually, middle lobe is absent on the left side and we have the two lingular lobes. The two lingular lobes or lingular segments. So these lingular segments, they come under the upper lobe. So on left side there are only two lobes, upper lobe and the lower lobe. Okay, upper lobe and lower lobe. Whereas on the right side we have upper, middle and lower lobe, and on the left side we have upper lobe and lower lobe. So these two segments, superior lingular segment and inferior lingular segments, they are part of the upper lobe. Superior lingular and inferior lingular. B4 is superior lingular and B5 is inferior lingular B5. So if anybody asks that superior lingular, inferior lingular are part of upper lobe or lower lobe, and they are part of upper lobe. Then similarly, in the left lower lobe, you have this segment, the medial segment or medial basal segment is not thin. Okay, so you have this A, A, L, P. This N for medial, this medial segment is not there. So for apical you have B6, B6, this is B6. For apical segment you have B6, then B7 you will have B7 is not there, and then you have B8, B8 anterior basal, lateral basal, B9 and posterior basal as B10. Posterior basal as B10, okay, lateral basal as B9 and anterior basal as B8. Okay. So these are the segments that are present on the. We have 10 segments on the left side also. On the left side we have 10 segments, but only thing is that E7 segment is missing. That is medial basal segment is missing on the left side due to presence of the cardiac. In the upper lobe, as you all know, we have B1 plus 2, B1 plus 2, apical and posterior, and then we have B3, okay, which is the anterior segment. This is all we have done. This is the superior lingular, this is the inferior lingular, B4 and B5. These are parts of the upper lobe. So these are the parts of the upper lobe. Superior lingular, inferior lingular, these are the parts of upper lobe. Then in the lower segment, you all know we have B6 to B10. Only thing is B7 is medial basal is absent. Okay. So we will study about the generations of the trachea. Trachea is the zero generation. Trachea is the zero generation. Length of trachea is about 10 to 12 centimeter. 10 to 12 centimeter is the length of the trachea. And what is the diameter? It is approximately 1.5 to 2 centimeter or 15 to 20 mm. We can say tracheal length is 10 to 12 centimeter and 1.5 to 2 centimeter is the diameter of the number ranging from 18 to 22 cartilaginous rings, and these are C-shaped rings. So that is the first generation. Then we have the main bronchus, right and left main bronchus, which is about 2 centimeter in length on the right side and about 5 centimeter in length on the left side. Okay, so it is approximately 5 centimeter. Left main bronchus is approximately 5 centimeter and right main bronchus is approximately 2 centimeter. What is the angle? This is the carinal angle. This is the carinal angle. It varies from 60 to 90 degree. Okay, from the midline, the right main bronchus is approximately 20 degrees, 20 to 30 degrees, and the left main bronchus from the midline it is 40 to 60 degrees. Okay, so the right main bronchus is more in line with the trachea, and this angle is approximately 90 degrees. Okay, the angle of the right upper lobe bronchus is approximately 90 degrees with the right main bronchus. These things you should always remember. Okay, because there are various pathologies that happen in lung because of these angles and variations. Okay, so this is the one thing that you must remember, and this is carinal angle, as you all know. From the midline, this angle is approximately 20 to 30, and this is 40 to 60 degrees. This is the carinal angle. Okay, so the right main bronchus is approximately 2 centimeter in size. Before the division of the right upper lobe bronchus, it is approximately 2 centimeter long, and the left main stem bronchus is approximately 5 centimeter long. Now, what is the diameter of the right main bronchus? It is approximately 10 to 16 mm. That is 1 to 1.6 centimeters, and this one is also 1 10 to 16 mm or 1 to 1.6 centimeter. This diameter is also 1 to 1.6 centimeter. Okay. Now we have the bronchus intermedius. Okay. So what is bronchus intermedius? After the division of the right upper lobe, we have bronchus intermedius. This is bronchus intermedius, and the size of bronchus intermedius is 1 to 2.5 centimeter in size. It is approximately 2.5 centimeter in size, 2.5 centimeter. And what is the diameter? Diameter is approximately 10 to 12 mm, or you can say it is approximately 1.2 centimeters. Okay, so the diameter of bronchus intermedius is about 1.2 centimeters. Okay. Now the lobar bronchus. This lobar bronchus, these are the lobar bronchus, upper lobe to upper lobe, middle lobe and lower lobe. These are the lobar bronchus. And what is the diameter? Diameter of lobar bronchus diameter is approximately 5 to 8 mm. Okay, 5 to 8 mm. This is the diameter of lobar bronchus. Then you have the segmental bronchus, and the diameter of segmental bronchus is 4 mm. Okay. So we have seen trachea or zero generation. We have diameter of approximately 1.5 centimeters, or you can say 15 mm. Then you have right and right, left and right main stem bronchus, and you have the diameter of approximately 1 to 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so the diameter of the right and left main bronchus approximately you can say 15 mm. Then you have the bronchus intermedius on right side, and the diameter is approximately 10 mm. Okay, and the lobar bronchus, you have the diameter of 5 to 8 mm. Okay, then you have the segmental bronchus, and the diameter is approximately 4 mm. Okay, so what is the importance of these diameter? Why you should know? Because the rigid bronchoscopy and the fiber optic bronchoscopy, they have these scopes in various sizes, and the standard bronchoscope can enter 5.9 mm and can enter 4 to 5 generation of bronchi. Beyond that, it is not feasible to introduce it. So 1 to 14 generation, you have the conducting zone. The 15th generation is transitional zone. So the conducting zone where air is present, but it does not takes part in the respiration. And from 16 to 23 generations, you have the respiratory bronchioles, and it takes part in the respiration. Okay.